All right. Hello, everyone from Tallahassee, Florida. My name is Samuel Ajayi, and I want to answer this question: F2 visa applicants for US visa, what they have been asking F2 visas, those who are applying for F2 visas. One question they have been asking about how long they should tell the visa official that they intend to stay with their spouse. Some people have said, should I say I'm planning to stay with my spouse for the duration of his studies? Some are saying, should I say just 2 weeks, or should I just say 2 months, so that the viewer won't feel I'm trying to move with my spouse and this and that, or I'm trying to run away or something like that. So people have been asking those kind of questions, and I want to specifically address it today. I know I've addressed it in part in some videos, but I want to dwell on it today because it seems to be a big discussion or a big uh, point, a big factor for many people, and then they're afraid, they don't know exactly what to say. And because there are different answers out there, different things that people have said and that has worked for them, so people are afraid, trying to be careful what to say. So number one, let's examine what is the purpose of F2 visa. Now, F2 visa was made for those who have a spouse, who are on F1 visa, who have spouse of children. Those are the family members that they expect, who may want to join them in the process of them studying in the United States. And they created that visa category specifically for family members, immediate family members of students who are on F1. And that's why if you check your I-20, the same end date that the F1 visa holder has, the original applicant who has the F1 visa, is the same date, the end date that is on the on the I-20 of the F2 holders, or those who are applying for F2, the I-20 of the F2 I-20. Okay, so it's the same end date. So originally, what the purpose is, just for them to be able to stay together so that the family is not separated, the family is not let's say somebody is studying for 5 years, so that the family will not be apart for 5 years. So it's for them to come together and to be able to be together and then move back to their country, to their home country, because they have the same end date on the I-20. Now, for those who want to travel to US generally on a visit, the general visa category for people like that is B1, B2 visa. And B1, B2 visa is for those who want to say, oh, either tourism, or you have a meeting, you have a conference, or you have a medical issue, blah, blah, blah. That's what the B1, or you want to visit a family member, that's what the B1, B2 visa is. And on those visa categories, the visit is expected to be a short visit, and many people, you are not expected to spend longer than 6 months at a time when you go on such visa categories. Okay, but F2 is quite different. You have the liberty of staying with your spouse for as long as the duration of the program, as long as it takes to complete the program. Okay, so if it is 5 years, you have the ability, you have the opportunity to stay with your spouse for 5 years. With B1, B2 visas, you cannot do that. So now I've had people say, oh, now when I go for the interview, if I tell the VO that I intend to stay with my spouse for the duration of the study, the VO may deny me, thinking I'm trying to run away. And some will say, okay, so it's better to say 2 months so that I can come back, so that the VO will know that I'm coming back. So, but right, eventually you want to go and stay with your spouse, right? Because that's the purpose of visa category, and then you don't want to stay away from your spouse for too long. It's not good for the family. These are some of the reasons you want to tell the VO too. Okay, so let me say it now, that I've seen people who said both and they got the visa approved. Okay, I've seen people who said they want to stay with their spouse till the duration of the studies, and then the VO approved their visa. And I've seen people who said they want to spend 2 months, and the VO still approved their visas. Okay, so personally, I usually don't think that that is a reason for people being denied visas, F2 visas. I want to believe that there are some other answers they could not provide clarity to, they could not answer perfectly. I want to believe that's one of the reasons why people are denied the visa. Okay, or maybe some conditions that are not yet met and all those things. I don't believe that's one of the reasons that people are denied visa. So I don't want to believe that people are denied visa because they said they want to stay with the spouse till the duration of their studies. No, my wife, for example, of course, she said she want to be with me till the duration of my studies. We've had other people that we've spoken to, that we've prepared for the interviews, and they said they want to stay for the duration. And we've met other people who just said 2 months, okay, and they were granted the visa. In fact, someone was telling my wife recently that she mentioned 2 months at the embassy, and then the visa official was asking, "Oh, do you know you can stay in the US with your husband till he finishes?" And then she said yes, she knows, but that she just want to spend 2 months and come back to Nigeria to work and also for some things and all those things. Yeah, and then the VO granted okay. So it works both ways. Just know that whatever you are saying, let it not be out of fear that, oh, the VO will think I want to stay with my husband for a long time. No. In fact, for me personally, one of the reasons why I advise that for people to say they want to stay with their husband for duration of the program is because of sometimes the job that the person applying for F2 is doing in Nigeria is not what you can use to say, oh, I have a study leave. For example, someone who is doing a self-business or somewhere where the person earns less than 50,000, 100,000, something like that, and then you want to tell the viewer that, oh, I love my job so much and earning this little, so I want to spend 2 months and come back to my job. The viewer will look at your salary and think within himself, like, why are you coming back to? You want to travel, spend this much to travel, and then still come back to this job that you are doing? Okay, so be bold when you are telling the video, because the category of F2, the F2 category, is for you. It's for you to be able to stay with your spouse, okay? It's for you to be able to be together as a family unit, so that you will not, communication will not be broken and all those things. So be bold when you are telling the video. They see the family as very important too. That's why the category is there in the first place. So if you are telling the video, I'm staying with my spouse the duration of the study, yes, say it. Be bold. Don't anticipate a rejection because of that, okay? Don't anticipate a rejection. It's what you can say and then stand by it. Or of course, there are other questions that you need to be able to tackle on the things you are doing currently, the job you are doing, okay? Now, some people will lie that they have study leave, and you have to already, so you don't need to even lie and try to embellish your record, because it should be easier for you so far your spouse has already gone, or you are doing together, whichever way. Everything you want to say or want to do is dependent on your spouse and the funding that is important and that is available. So to me, I would say the funding is even one bigger issue than the question of how long should you stay, how long should you tell the VO you want to stay. All right, I probably will still do a video on funding, okay, because there are some things that I've been hearing from people who are going for the interview now about the funding. Now they are denying some people because of skepticism about how the funding came about and all those stuff. I think it's something we really have to discuss too and find a way around what can be done to address that. All right, but I want to believe you've learned one or two things today. That say you are staying with your spouse for the duration of his studies or not, that is not the factor, okay? So in fact, I encourage people to say that, okay, because that is what the category of the visa is for. It's for you to stay for short visit. That's B1, B2. Of course, going on F2 visa does not mean you cannot travel back home during that time. Yes, you can travel back home and travel back into the United States. You don't need to apply again. You already have the visa with you. It's except the visa expires anyway. Let's say the PhD program is a PhD program that has to be 5 years, and then you are given 2-year visa. That's what they give Nigerians, and then the visa expires along the line, so you cannot travel out and come back in if the visa has expired. But within the visa validity date, you can travel out, travel in. What keeps you, even if the visa expires in the United States, what keeps you legal or legal in the United States is your I-20, the end date on your I-20. So they cannot chase you out, okay? Even your husband or your wife who is on the F1, or your father who is on the F1, or mother who is on the F1, they cannot chase the person out until the date on the I-20 labs, okay? So they can chase you out that way. That's your legal record. That's what makes you legal in the United States, staying in the United States. So don't be afraid. Say whatever you want to say with all confidence. And if you really want to stay a few months and then go back to something important that you're doing in your country, in Nigeria, for example, that's fine too. You can say that. But I want to say you can say till the duration of your studies if you are going to stay with your spouse. That's very, very, very possible. Don't be afraid. Say it. In fact, sometimes I encourage it depending on the type of job that the person is doing in Nigeria, because the VO will just see inconsistencies. The VO will say, oh, you say you are earning 50,000, okay, but you want to go and spend 2 months so that you can come back to your job. And the VO is trying to weigh all these things. Just go with your passion. If you have seen the F2 video I made, go with all your reasons, the family reasons, the family values. You want your family to be together. You want your child or children to be with their father, to grow with their father. You want the home to be one together, and you want to be able to encourage and inspire your husband to support, give the moral support, everything, even emotional support. Men need it, women need it, everyone needs it. You want to help, you want to assist in that regard, okay? So don't be afraid. Go check that F2 video I've made. If you have not checked it, it's very, very important. I've met a lot of people who said they went through the F2 video. Even here in this Tallahassee, I can't count again. I've met different, like, in fact, just remembering now, I can count 3 or 4 people here in this same city that I have met. In fact, I just remembered more people, those who are not even Nigerians, okay? So check that video, is very, very important. But on this question of can you stay, yes, you can stay as long as you want with your spouse, so far it's within the study limits written on the I-20. All right, thank you for watching today. You know what to do. Share this video, like it, subscribe to this channel if you've not subscribed, okay? Thank you. So God bless you.